Apple has led the way in industrial design for years now, and the iPhone 5 is a perfect example of just what it's capable of. It is beautifully made with a precision, fit and finish that leaves most other competitors looking like toys in comparison. From the mirror-finished beveled edges to the perfectly fitted glass inserts on the back, every angle of this phone looks amazing. The back is now aluminium rather than glass, which alone makes up for a fair amount of the 20% weight reduction compared to the iPhone 4S. It has also been etched to give it a lovely matte finish. As well as looking great, this makes the phone less slippery, which should hopefully lead to fewer mishaps. That said, the aluminium is definitely not as tough as either the steel or glass of the iPhone 4 and 4S. The changes here aren't all aesthetic either. Apple has also switched a few features around. The headphone jack is now on the bottom, which is both a good and a bad thing. On the plus side, the cable doesn't dangle over your hand, and when putting the phone in your pocket you don't have to change your grip. Also on the bottom edge is the new Lightning connector. Much slimmer and narrower than the old design, it can be plugged in either way round, and it can send out HD video as well as charge, sync with your computer and of course output audio. It is inevitably a bit annoying that all your old docks and cables won't work, but it is a much better connector overall. You can get a dock converter that will mean you can plug the iPhone 5 into all your old docks, but you don't get one in the box and they cost £25 each. Otherwise, this still largely feels like a classic iPhone. There's the power button up top, home button below the screen, volume and mute on the left side and SIM tray on the right. It uses a new nano SIM that's even smaller than the iPhone 4's micro SIM, but you may be able to cut down your micro SIM to fit. So overall it's a pretty nice new design then. But what of its screen? Well, Apple hasn't followed in the footsteps of the likes of Samsung and created a massive phone with a massive screen, but it has added a bit more screen space. The new display is the same width as all previous iPhones, but is 176 pixels or about a centimetre taller. This still makes the phone comfortable to hold and use one-handed, with all the buttons falling easily within reach. But you get an extra row of icons on each home screen, more lines of text on a web page, and widescreen video looks much more impressive. It's still not a patch on those really large phones when it comes to sheer visual impact, but it's a pretty good compromise. It's a quality screen too. It's as sharp as ever, but colour saturation has been improved, giving everything a bit more pop, while viewing angles are great too. All told, we think it's a step in the right direction. The penultimate key hardware changes are to the cameras. The rear one is now 30% thinner, while the front one can now shoot in 720p as opposed to 480p for sharper video calling. Both also have improved low light performance, producing less grainy, brighter images. The LED flash is still fairly weak though, just as on most phones. The big new feature though is the panorama mode. Just tap the button and pan around and you can create a massive widescreen image that's really well stitched together and is incredibly detailed. It's by far and away the best panorama mode we've ever seen on a phone. Thankfully for those not tempted to upgrade, the panorama mode is available on the iPhone 4S too. Just update to iOS 6 to get it. The final key hardware feature of the new iPhone then is 4G LTE connectivity. With EE rolling out its 4G network over the coming months, you'll soon be able to get super fast data download speeds on your iPhone, but not yet. The likelihood is most UK users won't be getting it for some time. So that's pretty much it for hardware, but what are the software changes? Well, mostly it's same old, same old. Apple likes to keep its interface simple, so not a huge amount has changed, but there are a few additions. Facebook is now integrated right into the operating system, so you can upload photos or send messages without having to go into the app. Siri also now supports UK businesses, making it easy to look up something in your locality just by speaking to your phone. But of course a big change that's catching all the headlines is the new Maps app. Apple and Google have ended their partnership, so that the phone now ships without a YouTube app and with a fresh new Maps app. On the surface it seems to be somewhat on par with the old app, with a slick vector-based standard view, a satellite view and even a clever 3D view, but dive a little deeper and a number of flaws are present. Labelling of locations is a bit off, with them appearing in the wrong place or even showing locations that don't exist anymore. The satellite imagery also has strange gaps, such as the entire of Coventry being in grayscale. And of course there's no Google Street View. A Google Maps app is in development, but it's not available yet. The iPhone 5 then is largely a triumph when it comes to hardware. Yes, you still can't upgrade its storage or swap out the battery, and there are no cutting-edge technologies like NFC or wireless charging, but it's a lovely thing to use. What's more, its software is incredibly slick and effortless. So is it the best iPhone yet? Absolutely. Is it the best phone? Well, it's the best small screen phone. If you don't mind having a big screen though, there are a number of alternatives that get you more features for your money.